This is Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, commencing the Saturday Ragchew Net. So far, I've got a lot the TGIF keyed up once we actually went live. Of course, yeah, I've got you in the log already there, Rod. So if you'd like to be number 3 into the Saturday Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard with that call out there. But hopefully Rod is there on the side. So it's just me and you at the minute, whilst we wait for the others. Over to you there, Rod, G0, EUZ.
G0, EUZ. Good evening, Chris. Before I go any further, can I just check that I'm coming through to you all right?
Yeah, not a problem. Yep, you are getting through to me okay. I didn't hear any disconnects in that over. Yep, you were getting through to me okay for that over there. And yeah, 9.4 seconds of it. All good. Back to you there, Rod.
G0, you said. Right, okay, Chris. Yeah, I've reloaded YSF on this one, and the other one actually, on the CQNorthwest. Hopefully that's cured it. I know it's not the internet here, because I get pretty good internet, and I don't use a lot of it, really. So, hopefully that's alright. So, back to business, yeah. Nice to catch up with you. I hope the others come on. I've got the telly on mute, so keep abreast of the rugby when it starts at, I think, about 8:10. And we'll see how we go on. England and France, it might even be a good match. I don't think they're going to win it, but so it's not been a bad day down here weather-wise. It's pretty cool. It was quite cold this morning, but yeah, it's quite a nice day really. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yep, sometimes all it needs is just reload the YSF on there, do the updates as well. Yeah, you're all up and good again. So, yeah, touch wood, you're all good. Is anybody on the side that would like to join in with the Saturday Ragchew Net? If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and we'll do it a bit differently and over as well. If you'd like to be number 3, go ahead.
G5 DOG, Steve. Surprisingly, here in London. Back to you, Chris, and then I'm back to me.
Yep, G5 VOG. You even come up on my Yazoo radio as G5 VOG. I'm not going to do the editing now. I'm just going to write it in by the side as extra info. Yeah, G5 VOG. Over to you there, Steve.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, sorry I missed last week. I had a surprise. I only found out the day before. Invasion of relatives all came round for a pizza night. I was going to just speak to you for a short time at 7:30, but I actually had a the handheld in my hand when they said, "Oh, we're playing Linky. Come on, Steve." And so the wife gave me daggers, and I had to go and play Linky for the rest of the night. So anyway, yeah, so I missed that. So I didn't want to miss this week. I'm here in London for the weekend. I'm in my son's house in Wood Green. It's a flat on the 6th floor. So if I wasn't using the way to put an antenna out from his balcony. Anyway, yeah, so I'm probably not going to be able to stay on for the whole time because we've got a takeaway meal coming, which is arriving between 7:45 and 8:15. So I might have to go. So anyway, I just thought I'd have a quick word to say on as long as so. Back to you then, Chris. M7CCS, G5 videos. You quite like saying that. Back to you.
Yeah, G5VOG, well, yeah, it rolls off the tongue a little bit easier. From Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, so that's all good. I've got a text message, I'm going to have to go into it in a second, from Donna. I think he said, is it running behind today? But it might mean because of the numbers there. But, yeah, I did realise now, yeah, that I thought that started at 8 o'clock though, that the rugby as well, Rod. I'm trying to find a portail, shall we say, a license-free portail way of maybe chucking it up on the live stream as well, because they can watch it as well as actually partition it
and earlier.
as well.
I think there's a real space there for just people
some viewing.
simply.
But yeah, it says it's live, and I know that I'm going to have to quickly press a mute, because that audio would be coming out over the live stream. So we're going to see if we've got a number 4 anyway, and if you'd like to check into the Saturday Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and over.
Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha. Ken here, Merthyr Tydfil.
GW4, GJA. That was me up there, but yeah, thanks very much there, Ken. And of course, yeah, you can have an overview check in now and confirm that you are getting in there.
Yeah, okay, yes, evening, Chris, and nice to hear you there. I just remembered, actually, I was just sitting here and not long eaten, and suddenly realised the time. I thought, oh, it's Saturday, isn't it? So I thought quickly come up. It's right where I left it last time I spoke to you, actually. I haven't been on Peanut since. But, yeah, anyway, I trust we're all well. We've had some terrible weather here, but today hasn't been so bad. I was out walking yesterday. I've been in the workshop quite a bit, messing around with computers mainly, and Raspberry Pi 400s I'm now running on my radio stuff. It all works very well indeed, don't get any RFI problems. And the computers in the keyboard, very useful. And I picked it up cheap on eBay. A Swiss layout, it said, but I can't see anything about a Swiss layout, but there we are. It's a proper standard QWERTY keyboard, so I don't understand that comment, but anyway, it works very well after messing around with the software was out of date by 4 years at least. It's all old, I imagine, brand new old stock, and the software was well out of date. So much so that the repositories didn't work, of course. So it wasn't surprising. So I soon downloaded the latest image of Trixie and stuck that on, and it all works very well indeed. I'm very pleased with that, and I've only just sort of finalised it today, in fact. So that's what I've been up to. So back to you there, Chris, from Golf Whiskey 4 Golf Juliet Alpha.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Ken, and of course, yeah, nice long over there. Of course, yeah, if you leave peanut in summer, it will stay there as well. So yeah, I'm just finding a way now of getting the rugby on as well in the corner. Yeah, it's going to put me out of the live stream, but it's all good. I've managed to make that work there. So if I chuck that over onto another window, I should be able to sort it out. So we'll see if anybody else would like to check in. If you'd like to check in, go ahead with your call sign. Name and location, and an over. Okay, so we go back up to the top of the list, not so loading now. G0, EUZ, over to you there, Rod.
G0, you said. Could be right back. Well, good evening to Steve and to Ken there. Nice to hear you both on. I bet you've got a nice view from a 6th floor apartment there, Steve. Should be very nice. And interesting to know what you're having for your takeaway. I've had my usual ribs, sweet smoky barbecue ribs from Aldi. Very nice indeed. Loved it. Oh, and I had a few chips with it because my wife was having lamb chops and chips and beans, so she had a few chips I got. So very nice indeed. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So apart from that, really, I've done absolutely nothing all week. The car has needed washing, but I haven't got out and done that. What else have I done? I really haven't done anything all week, apart from walk the dog 3 times a day and try and get some sleep, and that's about it. Spent a lot of time on Facebook flicking through. Shocking, really. But yeah, the YSF. I've never used a 4. I've actually got a 5 here that my grandson bought, and he came round to do something, and it's never left. It's all stuff in a bag. I can't even remember what's in there, but there were a few projects to go with it and what have you. Why he bought a 5, I don't know. I think he asked his dad to get him one. He'd have been just as happy with a 3. But he's coming to me for help. But you know, I apart from loading stuff on it, I don't actually know anything about YSF, programming and anything. Every time I want to do something, I have to look at what Chris has put on a video and get it done. So he wanted something a bit more, but he was actually doing something. He got some programming done and what have you. But his dad was the expert. I don't know what it's for, but he's very well paid for what he does. So there we go. So back to you, Chris, before I time. 7CCS G0.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Well, before, but I heard it. But yeah, it's all good there. Yeah, as far as rugby is, I don't think it is going to kick off till 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's pointless showing all that. Don't want to get naughted. But yeah, if you don't show the whole thing, you don't get naughted. It's all good there, and of course, because it isn't showing with sound, yeah, you don't get naughted as well. And of course, I've done it before when there's been rugby games on, when it was Wales rugby games as well. Yeah, I know that I won't get a copyright infringement. Yeah, we're now going to go over to G5-WD-R-G. Over to you there, Steve, in London.
G5-WD-R-G returning. Thank you, Chris. Good evening to Rod. Good evening to Ken. Right, talking about the view, Rod. I'm in his bedroom, so it's a smallish window. It's a beautiful view. He's got a big sort of patio door type thing going onto a balcony in his lounge. I've just had a little peep out of his window, so you can see what the view is. We're looking down, I think, over the top of Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium, although I can't actually see it at the moment, but it must not be lit up. And then you go down, and I think the River Thames is sort of on the horizon, like Canary Wharf kind of area, with a lot of tall buildings with red lights on the top of them to stop airplanes landing on them. So it's very nice, actually. He's kind of surrounded. He's in a block of flats. He's on the top floor, which is the 6th floor, so it's not the biggest one. And there's other bigger ones around him. But fortunately, they haven't built on the side where his balcony and his windows look out. So he has got this, like, as far as you can see to the horizon, with lots of things lit up and that kind of thing. So it's a very, very nice view. It's in Wood Green, which is, shall we say, very cosmopolitan, a little bit working class, but it's not far away from where he used to live in Muswell Hill, which is the opposite, very middle class and, quite a nice area, but he couldn't afford to buy a house there. This is only a shared ownership anyway, so I think he owns 25% of it at the moment, which is a good thing. It's a good way to get on the ladder and that kind of thing. My other son started like that quite a while ago, about 15 years ago, I think. And he now, he eventually bought the whole thing. And he subsequently moved from there, but it got him on the ladder, and as he got pay rises at work, he was able to buy more percentage. Anyway, so back to you then, Chris. M7CCS from G5-WD-R-G.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, thanks very much there, Steve. And yep, you did time out, and I managed to get the time out up there as well, even though I was doing other things, just trying to make sure that there aren't any little logos up in the corners. And yeah, I'm allowed to. I can basically stream the match, but I won't be fully streaming it, will I? Because of course the net will be over before the end result. Yeah, that's all good. So we will go over to Ken now, GW4GJA via Peanut.
Yeah, from Ken here, GJA, Merthyr. Merthyr on the sea, Merthyr on the Taff. That's not a bad area, this. I've been living here for 20 years. 21 years actually to be exact. 21 years I moved from the county of Kent, southeast Kent, Sittingbourne, and I come from Margate originally, the seaside town, and where I was born and bred and trained as an electrician originally. So, so that's my background, and I've lived in Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire, Luton in Beds it was, St Albans, Herts for a short time. Then back to Kent, to Rainham, then Sittingbourne for 20 odd years, and then here. So yeah, we've been around a bit in the job, in the trade, but I've enjoyed it all. That's the main thing. Amateur radio's come with me everywhere I went. I was doing amateur television back in Sittingbourne in Kent, ATV, with all the homebrew equipment and everything in those days. I was one of those who set up the ATV repeater, Kent repeater group, the amateur television group at the time. I set up a nice TCP/IP gateway system in the early days of the internet, before we had broadband. But that was all over UHF and VHF up to Gravesend in Kent. So good old days they were. But I shut it all down when we moved to Wales, so I've not been back to any of that technology since. And eventually got back on ham radio after renovating the bungalow, because it needed a lot of work being done to it. And now today, mainly HF and VHF, data modes, CW and so on. But I don't do any of those other things now. Haven't done for a long time. It's surprising how much you forget actually, because I used to know it inside out once. Before we had Windows, I used to drive straight into an editor and edit all the configuration files, knew it inside out, but I don't now. I've forgotten quite a bit of that, to be honest. Well, I suppose you would do after 20 years, you haven't touched it. But there we are, so a bit about my background anyway. Okay, back to you, Chris, from Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, yeah, background of an electrician, transferable skills there, as well. So that's all good as well. So I've got to have a look, try and see at my list. And yeah, we're going to see if anybody else would like to join in. If you would like to join in to the Saturday Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard. So, yeah, nearly the three amigos. But, yeah, I think Michael may have given some apologies last week. I'm not sure. I've been asleep since, but, of course, I remember Steve saying he was going to London. So, but, of course, yeah, he's here. So, yeah, he's working with his hotspot, and it's working well for him. Or however he's getting in, but it's coming via the cqnorthwest network. So back at, well, this week, yeah, shall we go a little bit about this week? So this week, yeah, I've got the plane tracker, I've got the local airport UHF frequency, which everything that goes through the airport tower, yeah, it pretty much any helicopter taking off from Cheltenham Racecourse has to go through that. Any private plane from Ireland and things like that. So the airport's been open later this week. It normally shuts down about 7:30. but it hasn't been shutting down till around about 9 o'clock. With Cheltenham race week going, there have been charter flights to Ireland and Dublin and places like that. And of course, yeah, it's the money week in Cheltenham at the moment. Of course, Gold Cup Day yesterday, and yeah, then you've got this live rugby. So yeah, Donna's informed me on YouTube there, and of course already knew that with a game, but of course yeah, stroppy tired son, yeah, because yeah, he didn't even be. It's like a bear in a cage. Don't poke him. Where he's been working all week for Cheltenham. But yeah, I've been you know, tracking those planes. Of course, I've kept my eye on the other planes as well. And of course, yeah, it's you know, that's my radio for this week, really, in a sense. So we'll go round to Rod now. G0, EUZ.
G0, you said back to the group. Yeah, that an interesting background there, Ken. Very interesting indeed. You know, it's no surprise. You know, I think you said your dad was into TV. So yeah, brilliant. I mean, I didn't go anywhere that route. I was actually in the police at the time and had a brief dalliance with CB. And I went in and took my RAE in '86. I didn't have any VHF equipment at the time, so I just cracked on with the Morse. And cracked that out. I was actually, I took the Morse test at the NEC the first time that the RSGB did it at the NEC. Myself and a mate went down, and we both passed and got our licenses. And you know, we applied at exactly the same time from the same place, i.e. the NEC. We've got a gap between our course. I think EUZ I've got, and he was EW. EWV was his course on. So yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, I think rugby actually kicks off at about 8:10. I think they go on the pitch and all that stuff, and meet the dignitaries and sing the anthems. So I think it's about 8:10 when it actually kicks off. So I've got it on in the background anyway, so I'm not too bothered about it. I've watched all the other games so far and quite enjoyed it. So there we go. Like I say, no radio at all. But I keep hoping that I'll sort of get into it and have a do. See, they're bringing the match ball in on horseback. A couple of nights on horseback. Brilliant stuff. So I think this is actually it's in France, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Okay, back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0UZ.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. I'm not sure where it is at all. But it looks dark there, doesn't it? So they've obviously been able to turn some lights out to do those effects that are on there. And of course, yeah, I've got it on the live stream now. So it's just up in the top right hand corner, so that yeah, no logos actually appear and things like that. But yeah, the Knights horses are now on there as well. But it's very small. But if you're on a mobile phone, you can do your two-finger thing, and you can actually zoom in through that corner. And I actually checked that out. I don't want to, shouldn't be telling people that, but yeah, even in the live stream, you can zoom in and you can look in closer to stuff as well. And I noticed that myself while I was waiting for the live stream countdown to go down. And then, of course, yeah, so, yeah, waiting for the live stream countdown to go down, and I always play it back on the phone. So, thanks very much now, Rod. We're going to go to Steve now, G5VOG. And, yeah, I think it's adverts now, so I'd better clat away, because we don't want third-party advertising, because we have clicked that there are no adverts in this live stream. So, no other products. So, yeah, as long as I keep an eye on clicking off the adverts, we're good. So over to you there, Steve, G5VOG.
G5VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Right, Rugby, I just turned your live stream on. That's very clever how you're doing that. But, of course, there was a big rugby event today. Earlier on, Wales beat Italy. Their first Six Nations 5 years, which I mean, ridiculous. So that was very good to see. I think there was a chance at one time that if Wales won today, England would get the wooden spoon, but my wife tells me that that's not the case anymore. So, but anyway, we got a victory, and that was so good to see, especially in Cardiff. Rod asked about what I was eating. I'm not quite sure. We're having Turkish stuff that's all vegetarian, lots of halloumi and falafels and stuff like that. And so lots of, it's all very sort of creamy and nice. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm quite hungry. And we've got a nice bottle of red wine to wash it down with. Right, yeah, Ken, interested, you know, you live in Merthyr, you're English, I live in Penarth, I'm English, my wife kind of lived in Penarth since she was a little baby, but she was born in Chester. And of course, Chris, you used to live in my Steggy way, and you're English, so lots of Welsh Englishmen in the Welsh Digital Radio Group, and yeah, that's very strange. Also, I've got a Play-4, Ken, and I've had it for about 18 months, and I've hardly turned it on at all. It's one of those, I keep having to move it when visitors come, because I've got it in the spare room, so, and then I forget to reconnect it. So yeah, I might look into that. So yeah, the here in London, interestingly or not, there's a protest by. I just dropped my pen on the floor. That's why I'm straining. There's a protest by supporters of the Iranian regime, which is rather weird. And they were going to march, but the march. Okay, can you hear me okay, Chris? Because it keeps flashing on and off on my screen. Back to you.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I heard you hit the time, mate. And yeah, chuck the time out there. And yeah, you kind of like carried on. So it blipped a little bit. And then, yeah, it kind of sorted out. But, yeah, then you asked if it hear you. So, yeah, it's literally because it was like a timeout. And, yeah, the side of the network you're on was saying, no. And that's what was happening there. Back over to you there, Steve. G5VOG.
G5VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, winding a little bit. I'm using my Zoom Spot USB in a laptop. That's how I'm getting through into CQ Northwest, and I don't with them the what's it, W.D.R.G software. There's no time thing on it anywhere, like on the hotspots. So I can't see how long I've been transmitting for. I haven't brought anything with me other than the laptop, the radio, and the dongle. So I've not. I've got your live stream on my phone, so I haven't even got anything to write with, so I'm a bit disorganised, shall we say. Anyway, I might have just heard my food arriving, so I'll pass back to you, and I will maybe be disappearing in a minute. Back to you then, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, you watch out for that food. And of course, yeah, especially as it's a different, well, you said it's a flat, so yeah, there shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yeah, I know normally when you're away in a hotel and you order food to a hotel, believe it, and there's certain hotel we stay in Blackpool, and of course, yeah, you just go to reception and collect it, in a sense. But of course, yeah, it's all good there, and yeah, and you enjoy your food as well. So, and of course, yeah, you use what you can use, and that's the idea. But yeah, of course, you got to remember that if you're watching the live stream back on that same one, it's the processors, all the processors in the background. That's why the Pi eliminates it. You can't build a Pi to work with one of them dongles, but then you might as well just take an MMTVM. And so, yeah, we go over or download Peanut on your mobile phone and use CQ Northwest. Over to you there, Ken. Via CQ Northwest, GW4, GJA.
Yeah, okay. I've just moved rooms. Don't want to upset the other half. Yeah, fine on everything there, everybody. Right, what have we got? Reflecting on what everybody said so far. Had to wait another round to see get enough subjects to talk about. I've never owned a dog, so I don't have to do this. And I see many Welsh people here walking their dogs 3 times a day, and I think to myself, well, I won't say what I think because that's a bit rude. I'm not a dog owner. I'm not going to say I'm not a dog lover, but I'm glad I don't have a dog, to be honest. I couldn't do that religiously every day. It's not my scene, and I don't think anybody in our family owns a dog. No one across the UK. No, none of us. There's some lovely, beautiful dogs around there. I was looking at one yesterday, talking to a lady, and she lives near here. Beautiful animal she's got there. I can't even tell you what it is, what model it is. That's how little I know about dogs. I can never remember what these dogs are. Some of them are pretty obvious, but this one isn't so much. Anyway, it's a friend of mine is totally obsessed in catching people who don't pick up dog poo. He's got cameras everywhere, and he really has upset a lot of neighbours. I think he goes a bit too far, to be honest. And he was chucking. He goes out picky. He's what I call a narcissist. He can have a heart of gold 1 minute, and then the next minute he can be quite nasty. That's his problem. And he goes out voluntary litter picking, which he can't moan about that. But then he chucks it all in the dog poo bins, all the cans, everything, the lot, fills them all up. He said, Ken, well, he said, someone's got to go somewhere. He said, I'm not taking it home. It goes in the dog bins, he said. And that's it. He causes a lot of problems and trouble and problems in the area. But there we are. not been back to London for some time. We used to have a monitoring station in London. I can't even think of the name of the area now. In Canary Wharf, wasn't it? Yeah, Canary Wharf. Ambassador Security Systems. I worked for Ambassador for a time, and they had a monitoring station there. They were taken over by CCOM eventually, CCOM of Japan, and their head office is out in Croydon way. No, not Croydon, in that direction anyway. All right, I've just timed out, so I'll pass it back to you there. Got leave it on, so over to you there, Chris. There's probably another thing I was going to say, but I can't think now. This is Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha, Merthyr Tydfil.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I'm having to hover over that timeout button tonight. But yeah, it's all good. I never realised how many adverts that they chuck into this sort of. Well, I don't normally watch sport, and of course, yeah, it's now kicked off, and it's just come back kicking off, unless it's. I don't think it's kicked off or not yet. But they're definitely on the pitch. Yeah, it's now in the top corner. Hopefully they'll put the score in over on the right-hand side. And we'll be good. It looks like they put the info down on the left. Normally up on the top left, I would assume. But yeah, not until there are anything scored, shall we say. So we'll see if anyone else would like to join us on the Saturday Ragchew Net. Go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard. So we will go back up to the top of the list for D.R.G. Isn't it lonely without Michael in all his chatter as well? But of course, yeah, normally more people, it fills it up a little bit. But we are cycling on now, and we have got ourselves a net. So if you'd like to, so we go round to D.R.G. EUZ. And yeah, that hotspot is definitely yeah, definitely working a lot better for you there, Rod. Over to you.
G0, EUZ back to the group. Well, I lost you there altogether, Chris, halfway through that over. And I've just found out that I have no audio on the live stream either, which is a surprise. I don't think it's switched off or anything. So there we go. But yeah, oh dear. So possibly not going to come back. But obviously they've kicked off now, so we're underway. So we shall see how it goes. Oh, my granddaughter's come round. Their shower's broken, so she's round here having a shower. She's finished now, and she wanted a Coke. So anyway, the good lady went out and got one. Sort that out. So we're doing all right. So yeah, I don't know what's happened with the live stream, Chris. So yeah, there you've got the rugby up there now. So yeah, the thing you have to watch with ITV when they're playing rugby is every now and again the rugby will go to half a screen and an advert will come on the other side. So you'll have to watch out for that. It's annoying. I don't know why they do it. But yeah, I suppose it's money. Okay, Chris, back to you. M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, the live stream, I just turned it up as you were talking, and yeah, your audio's coming through back on YouTube, on the mobile phone, and yeah, there's definitely no audio going out there for the rugby either, and so, and yeah, like you said, you've got to watch, for things like that. Hence why, you'll see if you've got your normal picture on and then you look at this, it's slightly delayed, but you'll see that, yeah, there's a little bit missing of it, and that's to, yeah, get the logo out, as well, and of course, yeah, I've not got any special little filters. Of course, I could actually, yeah, I could just put anything over the logo, and yeah, I'm sorted. But yeah, a lot of messing about at this time in the day. Didn't think about streaming it in advance or anything like that. But of course, yeah, the computer's doing quite a lot. It's doing the all the live stream, but of course, it's also now streaming that as well, and then putting it out. So yeah. And it's all on mobile broadband 5G as well, so yeah, it's quite surprising what you can do with a 5G connection. But yeah, the little freezes is my processor going, hang on, I'm not normally doing this, what's going on? But it's all good there. You can see a load of, well, it looks like a load of ants to me, but coming back on the live stream, I can see it's a bit clearer there. So that's all good. So yeah, and it makes it interactive. You can watch the rugby as well as being on as well, can't you? So right, so we'll go round to Steve now. G5VOG.
G5VOG returning. Yeah, a bit of a surprise. I'm still here. It wasn't the food coming. Believe it or not, it was my wife going to the toilet next door. I heard the door slamming and I thought that was the front door, but hasn't arrived yet. Now, they did say 7:45 till, yeah, 7:45 till 8:15. I wonder, I've got a feeling that if there's so much late, you get your money back, so you never know, might have a free meal. But yeah, so I've got the live stream on, as I said, and I just checked. I'm getting audio on it. I don't have the audio on because it's too confusing for me, but I did just turn it up a bit and then turn it back down, and I got Rod talking loud and clear. I'm just looking at Donna's comment about living in Cheltenham during race week. I know it gets very, very busy there. I don't know if it's the same as it's always been. I worked for Coral Bookmakers for many, many years, and I remember we used to get people to go and work there because they were extremely busy. And I think we had 2 betting shops on the main street in them days. Might only have 1 now, or may have none. You never know. But we used to, have to have millions of people working in them. It was so busy. And no, I never actually went there myself while the festival was on, but I've talked to people who went to work there, and they told me you just couldn't move down the high street or main street, whatever it's called, for just crowds of people, and they're all Irish, aren't they? So yeah, I suppose that's a bit spoils it a bit when it's too busy, doesn't it? But I did think I might have mentioned this 3 weeks ago. My future daughter-in-law, who worked as a production manager for Sky Football, has left Sky and gone to work for ITV Racing, and she started a job at Cheltenham. So she's not been actually working; she's been shadowing someone, like training. So she's been there all week. We haven't kind of heard how she got on. I might go see her tomorrow, so I'll find out all about it. So there we are. That'll be interesting. Anyway, I think I may have to go on the next round. So back to you, Chris. Oh, that's 3 times of time down. A triple crown of timeouts. That's you, Chris M7CCS from G5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I can tell you actually, I have spoken on the radio this week. So, yep, I've spoken with Ron and I've spoken with Hans. So, and Jeff, he was in New York at the time. Mark in Wales, GB4XMR, and Ian as well, another station, over on a tour group. And of course, yeah, I've done quite a bit, but that's the thing. I've not been on the radio as much as normal, and when I do tend to get on the radio, I do tend to time out a lot. And of course, when you get with a group of people you've not spoken to for a while, you time out a lot. But even though we all speak pretty much once a week, isn't it? So of course, yeah, there's a lot to get out there, and of course, yeah, we are going to time out. So there's not a problem there. We're now going to go around to Ken. He's currently holding the crown, but you time out and then carry on if you're on peanut anyway, which is pretty good, so we don't lose any of the context. GW4GJA.
Yeah, from Ken, GW4GJ, Merthyr Tydfil, where the sun shines on, where the sun never shines. Oh dear. Yes, okay. Well, someone mentioned food earlier on. What did we have this evening? Well, Heather's an ex-chef, and so we had one of her concoctions, slow-cooked chicken, in fact, with lots of other things. Been in a slow cooker all day long. Very nice it was too. And so we never buy any. We never have takeaways. It's non-existent, really. Well, we don't have any. Full stop. Just don't have them. Not even fish and chips, which is what I fancy sometimes. If we have anything like that, we go out to a restaurant for it. Wetherspoons being one of my favourite places, because they've got lovely pubs they have. And many other places around, of course. But otherwise, no, we don't have takeaways. I did attempt a takeaway not long ago with my grandson when he was here, using McDonald's. And it all went wrong. First time I'd ever used it. All the ordering was okay. But they delivered it to the wrong address, and when I did get it, it was all wrong. It wasn't what I ordered. So I didn't send it back, of course. It was all edible, but it wasn't that good. And how I got it was that I was tracing it on a map. They have a system where you can see where the delivery man is, and you're able to find it. And I saw he was up the road. Now I'm number 6. Number 6 is the number of my property, but there's a house at the other end that's also number 6, and I always get the two mixed up. And there's a great big sign on it saying it's the name of the road that house is in, which is different to where I am. But they don't look properly, and they see number 6 without thinking, and go knocking on the door. So I ran up there quickly because I could see on the map it says the man is at your door. Well, I knew he wasn't. And so anyway, I shot up the road and met him. And then when I got back in here with it, it was all wrong. So that was my first one and only ever delivery experience, and it was all wrong. So I wouldn't use that again in a hurry. Standby one. Right, okay. I just reset the timer quickly. Yes, Raspberry Pi 4s and 5s, yes. Well, the 5, of course, is the top one at the moment, I suppose. It's the faster one and so on, but they're quite expensive compared to the others, although not too bad in actual fact. Not that expensive, I suppose, thinking about it. But the Raspberry Pi 3, I've got one here using on the hotspot, which I'm not using at the moment, but I could have powered that up and come up on there, possibly. Yes, I have done in the past, haven't I? Yeah. Oh no, there was a problem with that, wasn't there? Something had changed, hadn't it? And I haven't got the talk group programmed into my handheld. Into the code plug, sorry. I'll have to alter the code plug. I've still got that to do. I haven't turned on that DMR hotspot for some while. It always works. It was on a couple of weeks ago last. It always works. And I've never upgraded it. It was made 5 years ago at least, 5 or 6 years ago. I made it. And it's still exactly the same as it was. And it always logs in whenever I go on. It never lets me down. It's been very good. Yeah, the Raspberry Pis do have a lot of uses for dedicated purposes, of course. Very handy. Anyway, back to you there, Chris from Golf Whiskey 4, Golf Juliet Alpha.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, I sat there chuckling at your, getting a delivery, McDonald's one. But, if you use the one that's orange, you can use one that's blue as well. The one that's blue is slightly better. Without you naming any of the actual delivery companies. But you can do it directly from MD MacD's as well. They normally use the Uber as well. But I hear the problems because I've got exactly the same thing here. We've got the choice of where they could either come from to the back or to the front. And they always stand there and they say, numbers, well, I don't mind saying number 7. And of course, they're stood right in front of it with a number that says 7. If they come the front way, and they come to a park, and then if it's dark, they look to the left, and they just don't seem to see the other row of houses. And of course, because it's grass, the Google car didn't reverse on the grass and reverse up and capture the houses. It was done to map the roads. So they've chucked number 7 is there, but number 7 is actually along with number 8 and number 9 and number 10, all over by number 11, which is opposite 6, round the corner. So I hear your problems there, Ken. And of course, the processing power of a Pi 5 is good. The XLX server is a Pi 5 with local encoding. So of course, the Pi 5 is running the network in a sense. So there's a lot of good there. Of course, Pi 3 added thing is you ain't got to worry about the internet. Just chuck the Ethernet in it. And I run a DMR gateway here, and I run a Pi 2 to do that. I've got a hotspot. I run a Pi 2 in it, but of course Pi 0 I run just as good. But it's all about processing power. All good there. Next we will see if anybody else would like to join in with the Saturday Ragchew Net. I am missing Michael, but of course, can anyone remember if he gave apologies last week? I hope everything's all okay. We'll see if anybody else would like to join in with the Saturday Ragchew Net. Go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over, and there's my time, mate. Okay, nothing heard. So we will go back up to Rod G0 EUZ, and of course, if the group gets a little bit shorter, we might be finishing on that just after 8:30 mark. So round to you there, Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ, back to the group. Yeah, I'm okay there. I closed down the live stream and reopened it, and I've got sound now, so yeah, it's all nicely. I don't remember Michael saying anything, to be honest. No, I can't think. I'm pretty sure he didn't say anything, really. But, I suppose we could go and replay last week's live thing, couldn't we? Not that it's not important, but yeah. So yeah, I've not a great deal more to say. This match is going quite well, really, with the scores are changing all the time. So it's quite interesting. So perhaps I ought to go, really, and speak to the granddaughter before she goes home. Although we'll be at their house tomorrow, Mother's Day roast at my daughter's. So looking forward to that. Something very nice, won't it? So yeah, can't think of anything else really. I'm going to go and have a blood test this next week for my a telephone appointment the week after, the Tuesday after, and then beginning Easter time I'm going away, so I won't be on certainly then. But I'll be on for the next couple of weeks anyway. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0EUZ.
Yeah, I'm Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I thought about it in that over, and yeah, I've got 3 dots incoming from Michael. So, yeah, I'll see what it says, or whether he just picks up a radio. But it's all good. So, yeah, we go round to Steve GW5VOG.
G5VOG returning. Yeah, I'm still here. The food hasn't arrived yet, but I am definitely going to make this my 73. You know, with Michael, one thing it might be, the clocks have changed in the US. Last weekend, last Saturday night, so he might have got confused with the time, you never know. So maybe he'll come on now thinking it's 7:30 here, you know. So you never know, he might be a late arrival. Anyway, I'll just say I'll have to go now. I think we do get our money back if it doesn't arrive soon, but they have messaged to say that they're almost here. So yeah, so 73 to everyone. I've enjoyed coming from London to you. It's quite good. I've never really done this before. I have once used this setup in the car. Apart from that, I always do it from home. Yeah, so we're going to, actually I'm staying tomorrow night at the Premier Inn next to Twickenham Stadium. In fact, it's called the Premier Inn Twickenham Stadium. It's not in the stadium, where I think there is actually a luxury hotel built into it. But it's up the road, so I'm going there and meeting my other son, bringing this son here with us, and so we're going to the Ivy in Richmond for a Mother's Day meal. How about that for their mum? So that'll be nice, and my younger son and his fiancée have just come back from 3 weeks, I think, in Thailand and Vietnam, so they'll have lots to tell us about that. So anyway, I'll say 73. Sorry I've got to go early, but I am getting starving now. So I'll definitely be back to normal in the next week. So cheerio, back to you, Chris M7CCS from G5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, that courier's not going to be getting a tip, is he? But all good. So the 3 dots changed to a sentence, and yeah, Michael's okay. His house is getting a new roof. He was dealing with a roof contractor when the net was getting ready to start. Now he's waiting for him to call him back. So yeah, hopefully he's not roofless. And of course, yeah, and that is a bit, well, is that a joke or a pun there? A little bit ruthless. But yeah, I'm hoping he has got a roof, and it was okay if he had a massive hole in the roof. But if he's got a leak that needs repairing, he's okay about it. Hi. So all good. So we will go. We'll say 7-3 to you there, Steve. And yeah, we'll start shutting it down on 7-3. So of course, yeah, Bella's going to get a little bit of an earlier walk tonight. So we'll go round to GW4 GJA.
Yep, 73. No, I'm only kidding. Right, yes. From Ken here. Right. Yeah, well, I went for all that, a new roof last year, last year I think it was. Oh no, it wasn't this time last year, was it? Oh, it's over a year now, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we had water coming through both ends of the bungalow. Well, I'd had a trouble on and off for years. And it would only do it under certain conditions if the wind was coming in the right direction. It had to be, high winds, very high winds. But it got so bad in the end, I had to get something done about it. And I suspect the ridge tiles was the problem because the water coming from the back and on the front was right in line with each other. That tells me it was running down the rafters from the ridge, both sides. And
catch City next week for his net. If he's doing it there, he did do it this week. So it's all how his hands are. But look for the updates on the W.D.R.G Facebook page. He does update if he's doing or not doing. Of course, when it goes to doing it all the time, then of course, yeah, you won't need to put that update there. You can take the automatic post for granted. So I'll bid you all at 7-3. I've been Mike 7 at Charlie Sierra, and I'll catch you all next week on the Saturday Ragchew Net. Try and catch City in the week.